Guys, what is going on?
Strange sounds are being heard around the world. In Sweden, this sure sounds like a trumpet. In Michigan, another trumpet-like sound. In British Columbia, Canada, Dr. Glenn McPherson says he heard a strange humming sound in his home. At first, he thought it was an appliance.
Ultimately, I cut the power to the entire house, and the sound got louder.
Then he discovered he was not alone.
This is in fact a worldwide phenomenon, and I'm calling it the worldwide hum.
Check out his Hum Map Data project. To date, some 17,000 civilians and scientists from around the world who call themselves hummers have reached out to him, saying they heard the same thing. McPherson thinks the mysterious hum could be caused by low-frequency sound waves that sound like this. He actually built this 3-foot by 6-foot steel box that blocks out low-frequency sound waves. But for some reason, even inside it, he says he still hears the strange hum.
Going into the box made absolutely no difference whatsoever to my perception of the hum. If anything, maybe even it got louder.
Inside Edition producer Brianna Deutsch climbed inside the coffin-like box to test it out. She hears no hum.
It's pretty dark.
Now listen to these strange booms that sound almost from another planet. It could be a sonic boom from a fighter jet breaking the sound barrier. Another possibility, a meteor. This home security camera in Bridgewater, New Jersey actually caught the flash and then the sound of a meteor.
Huge explosion, loud enough and strong enough to knock the pictures off my walls and shatter the glass all over the place.
That may help explain some of the booms. But others remain a weird mystery.
All right, some of you might be wondering what are these strange sounds that are being heard around the world, all over the world. And a lot of people are confused. They don't know what these sounds are. Well, the Bible explains to you what these sounds are specifically. Now, I'm going to show you without a shadow of a doubt that the evidence is here in the Bible and explains exactly what these sounds are. All right. So it's nothing else that these people are saying, some meteorite, some some airplane or anything like that. No, the Bible will give you the explanation. So what we're going to read from the Legend of the Jews. The link will be in the bottom so you guys can see. And we're going to read from the creation of the world, the first thing created. Right now, we're going to skip on this and we're going straight to what I want you guys to begin with. All right. So let us begin. We're going to begin here. Nor is the world inhabited by men, the first of things earthly created by God. He made several worlds before ours, but he destroyed them all because he was pleased with none until he created ours. So this to tell you that God created several worlds before this world that we human beings are living in presently today. Let me continue. But even this last world would have no permanence if God has executed his original plan of ruling it according to the principle of strict justice. It was only when he saw that justice by itself would undermine the world that he associated mercy with justice and made them to rule jointly. So previously, what God did is that he let justice rule the world. I won't say rule the world, but he let, according to justice, like immediately, because you know how people are sinners. And since they sinned, they broke the law. If it was up to justice only, then they will automatically be dealt with. You understand? And that will compromise the human race by basically destroying the human race by killing them off. Okay? So it was only when he saw that justice. So what he did, he let mercy rule with justice, because justice will just basically just kill everybody left and right, because most people would deserve death for what their sin will do. Anyways, you guys gotta get the point. All right, so he put mercy with justice to rule together, right? Thus from the beginning of all things prevailed divine goodness, without which nothing could have continued to exist, if not for it. The myriads of evil spirits had soon put an end to the generations of men, but the goodness of God has ordained that in every Nissan. So not only will justice, but also the evil spirits will do away with men. But the goodness of God has ordained that in every Nissan, at the time of the spring equinox, the seraphim shall approach the world of the spirits and intimidate them, so that they fear to do harm to men. Again, if God in his goodness had not given protection to the weak, the tame animals would have been extirpated long ago by the wild animals. In other words, the wild animals would have killed all of the weaker animals. All right. Now, in the spirit world, the seraphim is the one that approached the evil spirits and intimidate them by its sheer size and by its power, for it not to do harm to men. Because if it was up to these evil spirits would have killed us all. Same thing with the animals, right? And let me see, the seraphim, okay, the tame animals, yes, the tame animals would have been extirpated. That means it would have been killed out. In Tammuz, at the time of the summer solstice, when the strength of the behemoth is at its height, the behemoth, right, it's at its height, he roars so loud. Now this is okay, the noise that you guys are hearing around the world, this explains it, right? In Tammuz, the Tammuz is a certain time of the year. It's the time of summer. At summertime, when the strength of the behemoth is at its height, he roars so loud that all animals hear it. All animals hear it. And for a whole year, they are frightened and timid. So for a whole year, the animals are frightened and timid. And their acts become less ferocious than their nature is. You see? So here it is, we read again, God in his goodness have given protection to the weak. The tame animals would have been extirpated long ago by the wild animals. All right, so it's the behemoth that roars. He roars so loud that all the animals hear it. So we humans too, as well, hear it too as well. So these strange noise that you're hearing all around the world is by the behemoth. That's what you're hearing. But it makes these animals so frightened that they are frightened for a whole year. And their acts becomes less ferocious than their nature is. Again, in Tishri, at the time of the autumnal equinox, Tishri, around autumn, the great bird Ziz. I'm going to show you that these mythological animals do exist. And I'm going to show you. Even in Hollywood, when you see Godzilla fighting Mutos, or when you see the Leviathan, these are the animals that this thing is talking about. Now listen to this. The great bird Ziz flap his wings and utter his cry, so that the birds of prey, the eagles and the vultures blench, and they fear to swoop down upon the others and annihilate them in their greed. And again, were it not for the goodness of God, the vast numbers of big fish had quickly put an end to the little ones. But at the time of the winter solstice, in the month of Tibet, the sea grows restless. For then Leviathan spats out water, and the big fish become uneasy. They restrain their appetites, and the little ones escape their rapacity. So the big fish, the sharks eating the smaller fish, right? They become scared because of the roar of the Leviathan. You know, because of the roar and the sheer, when the ocean, when you see that ocean becomes what you call it, uneasy, when the ocean is that ocean become restless, that is because that is the ocean that is coming out of the Leviathan's mouth, right? He spouts out water and the big fish become uneasy. They restrain their appetite, and the little ones escape their rapacity. Okay, so finally the goodness of God itself manifests in the preservation of his people Israel. It could not have survived the enmity of the Gentiles if God had not appointed protectors for it, the archangels Michael and Gabriel. Whenever Israel disobeys God and is accused of misdemeanors by the angels of the other nations, he is defended by his designated guardians, which such good results that the other angels conceive fear of them. Once the angels of the other nations are terrified, the nations themselves venture not to carry out their wicked designs against Israel. So you see, the other nations seek to destroy us, Israel. Black Hebrew Israelites all over the world, they seek to destroy us. But they don't fully destroy us because we have two protectors which God have put over us, Michael and Gabriel, over us to protect the nation of Israel. Otherwise, these other nations, you look what the Chinese is doing to Africa. Look what the United need to say what the Europeans have done to Africa and is still doing to this day, and they hold themselves not guilty. You look at these other nations, how they treat. Look how the Indians treat Africans over there in India. These other nations would have devoured us if God did not put these protectors over us. All right, so whenever Israel do something really bad, the angels that are the protectors of these other nations, they go in front of God and say, look what your people is doing. Look what these people are doing. Look what your Hebrew Israelites are doing. Look what these people are doing. So what they do, they accuse Israel. Same thing with Satan is there, right there too as well. So they accuse Israel. And, that give them legal right. When Israel sins, it give what you call it, these angels legal right to come against us. So when you see this nation coming against us, it's most likely due to our sins, So, but the angels, Michael and Gabriel, which God put over us, protect us. Anyhow, that the goodness of the God may rule the earth, on earth as in heavens. The angels of destructions are assigned a place at the far end of the heavens, from which they may never steer, while the angels of mercy encircle the throne of God, at his behest. So when you hear these loud sounds around the world, it's the Leviathan, the Ziz, and the Behemoth. And I'm going to show you a little small movie clip of these three beasts, except for the Loch Ness Monster. I'm just going to show you the Behemoth, which is Godzilla, and also the Ziz, which is that mythological bird. And it also go by the name of Belphegor. All right. So these animals, these mythological animals exist. And when you hear these loud sounds around the world, this is what you're hearing. All right. So I've shown you the evidence. I've shown you the proof. Let's go to the movie clips.
This alpha predator of yours, Doctor, do you really think he has a chance?
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control, and not the other way around. Let them fight.